Man, that was a close one after being up by as much as 13 points in the second half. The Indiana Fever find themselves in a dogfight late in Seattle, and we held on to win 5 straight W's for the Indiana Fever, 78-74. Man, that was a struggle, but
Aaliyah Boston just said, fourth quarter, while Sophie Cunningham simply transformed into Steph Curry with a southern accent. It's my time now. On Sundays, the Fever are out here preparing meals like your grandmother. And you know what? Wins are being served. Baby, 3 in a row. Was someone's Gatorade tampered with? Or is this a Fever dynasty loading? Stay tuned because this game had enough heat to cause your air conditioner to break down and more story twists than a reunion from a reality show. Let's begin.
Well, my God, the Fever did everything possible to blow a game but still come out with the win. That was a near epic level collapse, folks. Wow, it should have never gotten that close. Lexi Hull, Stephanie White waited till the very, very last minute to put Stephanie Hull in on defense. She should have been in there from 2 minutes in, 2.5 minutes in on defense.
It was more than just hooping for Sophie Cunningham. She was personally trying to remind everyone of the purpose of the WNBA's highlight reel. She had a unique aura that causes opponents to reevaluate their life decisions and coaches to instantly alter their rotation charts. The offense has been locked. Airport security is less stringent than defense. In essence, she was transforming the hardwood into her own stage performance, how to be that girl, while diving for loose balls and draining shots like rent was due.
We needed big games from a few key players, and we got big games from Sophie Cunningham, a big game from Natasha Howard, and Ari McDonald. It was very noticeable how this team performed tonight with Ari McDonald in the game and with Ari McDonald on the bench. Ari McDonald was a key component to the Fever's victory tonight. Let's get right into it. Natasha Howard, big game from Natasha Howard. 21 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 10 of 12 from the field. Natasha Howard, she put in work offensively, she put in work defense.
And the buckets weren't the only thing. It was the no-nonsense, the swag, the attitude. Take control of the game and change things up. Sophie wasn't having fun. She was giving a performance. This Fever squad couldn't function without her. She was the glue, the spark, and the caffeine boost they didn't realize they needed. Ignore your heart and soul. The circulatory system itself was called Cunningham. She was always shouting, working hard, and making sure that no one on the court forgot who the emotional engine was, even when it seemed like Indiana was slowing down.
So what it is about certain parts of these games, certain halves of these games, it's like they didn't want Sophie Cunningham to touch the ball at all in the second half. And she finished with 17 points, 5 of 6 shooting, 4 of 5 from three-point range. And in case you're wondering, she's the only Indiana Fever player that hit a three-pointer this evening.
Meanwhile, an odd event occurred during the fourth quarter. Something that causes you to ask yourself, After a long night of overanalyzing and viewing too many films about chess, only a coach could come up with this. The heated hand was Sophie's. What did we receive? A 5-minute Cunningham intermission, akin to a Broadway show's halftime. When you can bench it, who needs momentum?
They sure do know how to stress a brother out. The Indiana Fever just almost pushed me to a heart attack. I mean, jeez. Come on, guys. My goodness, man. Woo. I got to keep my towel on. My neck is wet. My neck is wet, guys. I'm sorry. They made me sweat. The Indiana Fever nearly blow a 12-point fourth quarter lead. We allow the Seattle Storm to go on an 11-0 run in the fourth quarter. Stephanie White, I keep telling y'all, I don't trust.
Pulling Sophie in the middle of a live feed was akin to shutting off your Wi-Fi, really. It's similar like tearing into a sandwich and then discarding the finest portion. It was one of those choices you make and then wind up sounding like a crazed mistake. This was no ordinary 5-minute break, let's be clear. It was a drama of prime time fever. Leaders take charge in the fourth quarter. Like a supporting character, Cheen, the leader, was hydrating on the bench. Let's just call it that. Blasphemy in basketball. In the Sahara, Sophie was like a solar panel, radiating energy. Then there was darkness. Points aren't even important anymore. It has to do with presence. Cunningham's presence in court has a calming, spiritual quality. Her teammates run harder, defend better, and fist bump more forcefully because of that kind of attitude. It was like pulling the all cord during your favorite song when you pulled her out.
All right, man. So can we just talk about the elephant in the room, man? When we have hot hands, we have to go to the hot hands, okay? It just does not make sense to keep giving somebody who is cold the ball, especially in clutch moments. What are we doing? Stephanie White, what are we doing? My bad, y'all. I know this probably bothered y'all. What are we doing, Stephanie White? Let me close this out, y'all, really quick. Okay, there we go. You have to refer to your hot hands, man. Come on now. You had Kelsey Mitchell take. I feel like it was like 3 or 4 shots that she took in the clutch moments where they were coming back and the turnovers was happening.
The Fever somehow kept it together despite the mayhem. Perhaps it was the sheer amount of energy Sophie left behind, which was like glitter on the court. Or it might have been Aaliyah. After being personally outraged by the scoreline, Boston finally woke up in the fourth quarter and decided to play. Boston didn't simply appear. She blew up. Intimidation, putbacks, rebounds, and footwork that seemed appropriate for a dance competition. She slapped the veteran card on the table after taking it out. She scrambles, defends, encourages, and chats. In a huddle, she's the one who looks at the other player. You already know that she won't allow anyone to fold today. Depending on your sense of humor, the obviousness of all of this makes it even more tragic or hilarious. The supporters were aware of it. The pundits were aware of it. Most likely, the popcorn vendors sensed it. Sophie was preparing food.
Indiana Fever survived the Seattle Storm. This was a hell of a game, and I have to be honest with y'all. I got to be completely honest with y'all. The Indiana Fever, hey, a win's a win. I'm not mad. We won. I'll take a win. But boy, are we lucky that this Seattle Storm team is borderline. They're borderline terrible offensively. This team, they play so slow. They can't score in bunches. I don't even know how they went on an 11-0 run. Well, I know how they went on a run. My point is, they don't score quickly enough, easy enough to even go on major scoring swings like that. That's not how they play. They are a slow, methodical team, and they missed. Skylar Diggins missed 2 wide open threes. Erica Wheeler missed a wide open 3 in the corner.
And for what reason did the kitchen close for 5 minutes rather than allowing the chef to finish the meal? Supernatural intervention, load management, and a calculated timeout. We might never find out. Not to be overlooked are the intangibles. Sophie's leadership isn't accompanied by gaudy sayings or prepared catchphrases. It's uncooked. She gives a fist pump. Switch, she shouts. As if she had just made the shot herself, she celebrates her teammates' accomplishments. Money cannot purchase that type of oneness. And someone like Cunningham becomes the template, the focal point, and the compass when you have a team like the Fever, full of youthful, eager talent. She binds as well as leads. There are role models, let's face it. Sophie is the next in line. Not in a slick, corporately sponsored manner. Don't be a diva. Nothing but sassy, hard-nosed, blue-collar basketball.
Absolutely are like they're now well and truly up there with the best of them. They are looking like they're going to get into that 4-5 matchup no matter what. Like if you look at the standings, they are 17 and 12. They're like a half a game back than the Phoenix Mercury. If the Phoenix Mercury somehow lose tonight, they go ahead of the Phoenix Mercury. They are an entire game ahead of the Seattle Storm, and they have the tiebreak over the Storm. If they win one of the last two against Phoenix Mercury, they have the tiebreak over the Mercury.
So, yes, Cunningham is that gal who performs better than any metric can quantify and is undervalued by box scores. She leads in everything else that counts, even if she doesn't always lead in points. Communication, effort, self-assurance, managing the turmoil, and yes, a little trash talk laced with Midwestern savor. The Fever were more than just a team by the end of the game. They were one. A team that was finally giving their supporters something to cheer about after extending their winning streak. And Sophie behind all that commotion. Like a conductor with a passion, she was masterminding the atmosphere whether she was on the court or the bench. Don't overthink it if you're wondering what sparked this team's recent success. It's a little bit called culture, not just plays, analytics, or sophisticated rotations. And that culture celebrates other people's buckets louder than her own, wears a headband, and scurries for steals. Sophie is that. The voice, the pulse. Allow her enthusiasm to permeate the game. Because it's electric when she's out there, and it's not just basketball. The league as a whole really has to start listening.
We have a lot to discuss in this one. One thing being that the Indiana Fever has picked up their 5th consecutive straight win. This is their best record in over 10 years, and they have a chance to become second place in WNBA rankings. Yes, so all of the people that said that the Indiana Fever was out of contentions to winning the WNBA championships, I'm here to tell you, they all looking silly today.
Because if Clark is the spark, Boston is the anchor, and Sophie Cunningham is the heart of this Fever team, then Indiana isn't just gaining momentum, they're creating a movement. One Cunningham possession, one dive, one clap at a time. Given that Sophie Cunningham was already smoldering like a microwave tortilla, it's likely that the aim was to cool her down. Pulling your flamethrower off the court in the middle of a flame burn is a great way to demonstrate momentum management. Perhaps they believed she needed a respite to replenish her sass or sarcasm stores. Here's the twist, though. Regardless of the reasoning, Sophie did not sulk, flinch, or make a diving move in spite of that moment of basketball sabotage masquerading as planning. She returned to the game and continued her season-long practice of providing raw anarchy cloaked in intelligent basketball. Additionally, each of her possessions feels like a masterclass, showcasing her best work with just enough flair to be enjoyable.
The odd makers had picked the Indiana Fever to actually lose this game in Seattle. No one thought that they can go to Seattle and get a win on the road. And I'm here to tell you, it got shaky in the fourth quarter.
So I'm happy that we kept our composure, even though Seattle went on an 11-0 run. We've been through situations like that, but at the end of the day, we just stayed together and we talked about it and we moved on to the next play.
I also think it shows the growth that we've had as a team, because early in the season we were just so inconsistent, and if teams were to do that, we would normally lose those games. But it just shows that we're getting closer, we're trusting each other, and I think that's the biggest part, is trusting and knowing that we can win those games even if they go on runs.
Sophie isn't simply playing well, let's face it. She is playing with attitude, purpose, and a don't mess with me mentality that immediately elevates the level of play on any squad she is on. Since CC has been gone, her energy has been exploding. Sophie has been out here calmly becoming the team's heartbeat with no fuss and 100% fire, while the league has been preoccupied analyzing Caitlin Clark's minutes, passes, and astrological sign. This is where things start to get serious. I'm growing into a huge admirer of Sophie Cunningham. This woman is not just going all out, but she's doing it in a humorous, honest, and uncensored way. I'm like, build a shrine in my living room level fan. Pure gold, on-court manner, post-game interviews, and humor with a dash of competitive rage. In a single possession, she will pick up your teammate, talk trash, drop a three, and then scold the referee. You can't teach that either. These days, every game has become a Sophie showcase complete with full-court hustles, defensive stops, trash talk, veteran swagger, and facial expressions worthy of their own collection of memes. After locking you down, she's the player who will wink at you and say, "Good try, sweetheart." If you're on the opposing bench, you're going to have a long, caustic, soul-snatching night, so you want her on your side.
So that is 5 in a row. That is 5 wins in a row for the Indiana Fever. That is something I didn't think we were going to do it. I didn't think we were going to be able to win 5 games in a row. With or without Caitlin Clark, winning 5 games in a row isn't easy. And that's another. Up until last week, the Fever had not beaten a plus 500 team in the regular season since Nalissa Smith and Lexi Hull's rookie season. Since their rookie season.
The funny part is that she's not merely acting for attention. The sass has some substance. The Fever is more coherent when she's on the ground. Structure exists. Balance exists. The defense makes a click. The ball moves more smoothly. The tempo seems more fluid. Everyone seems to have a little case of let's stop being chaotic when she is around. She's the teammate who actually brings jokes to practice and reads the scouting report. Oh, it's a chef's kiss when she expresses her opinions. To be honest, Sophie is the talking curveball in a league that frequently places a more value on commercial perfection and sterile soundbites. She serves as both the emotional support and the humorous relief. She is the grinded-out baller and the uncensored podcast. Furthermore, she is making it clear that the Fever's comeback is due as much to her tough leadership as it is to impressive statistics. She flourishes when the game gets filthy, violent, and passionate, whereas other players require attention to perform. She becomes increasingly trapped as the show becomes more wild. She's one of the few players who appears more at ease plunging into the stands than making wide-open jumpers. However, she can use flair for both.
Oh my goodness. What are we doing? What are we doing? You had a Sophie Cunningham who was on fire, 17 points, right? 5 rebounds, 2 assists, shot 5 or 6 from the floor and 4 or 5 from the 3. Didn't touch the ball not one more time in that clutch moment. What are we doing? What are we doing? Boston was also on fire. 7 of 11 from the floor, 16 points, 1 block, 3 steals, 2 assists, 12 rebounds with that nasty dopo, and didn't necessarily put up a shot in those last minutes.
Can we also discuss how hilarious she is in the middle? During live play, Sophie chirps as if she's getting ready for an HBO special. It's always amusing to see her clap back at referees, get under her opponents, or motivate Skinner team. This is my house, and I'm going to make you laugh while I ruin you. Not in the obnoxious look-at-me way. Seeing her get along with the other members of the team is also really fulfilling. She is more than a lone wolf going about her business. She makes everyone around her feel better. It's evident in the way the Fever honor her major victories. There is connection and trust there, and when she makes a big shot, the bench as a whole seems to levitate. It goes beyond simple leadership.